It's April 1st, 2016, and that means it's time to plant the tomato plants. So I've got my tomato seeds, and even if I've had them for a couple of years, I keep them in my refrigerator, it's still good. So this is what I do. You can do it however you want, but I eat a lot of Greek yogurt, so I've got a lot of these big containers that I've been saving. And what I do is I use a sharp knife, but I use a box cutter. Okay, and then I just put in a couple of little holes here on the back. Usually I make an X here and an X there. So an X here and an X there. Buy the kind of seeds you like, but I'll give you a couple of thoughts to keep in mind when you're buying tomato plants. Especially if you have kids and they're excited and they have a tendency to pull the tomatoes off before they're quite ready, or you have annoying squirrels or birds that take a little bite out of each one. So I have a tendency to grow some small ones. One of them I like a lot is a tomato 4th of July hybrid. This is a Burpee product, and they're like about like this big, so a little bit bigger than a golf ball maybe, and it gets lots of them. And they're delicious. And then I also like to grow the Juliet hybrids. You can always find these seeds in the stores, and they're kind of like a mini Roma. They're delicious. I don't even know if they're related to the Roma, but that's the shape. And you get lots of them, and they're usually the first ones to produce, although they're kind of a race with the 4th of July. The jelly bean hybrid also, they're even smaller. They're the little grape ones. So they're great for kids, and then, you know, if the squirrels get a few of them or take a bite out of a few, it doesn't make that much of a difference. And then I grow one mortgage lifter. And the mortgage lifters, I never give those away except to my mom. They're good for BLTs. They are fantastic for BLTs. So that's what I do. Choose the ones you like. I grow 2 4th of Julys, 2 Juliets, 1 grape, and 1 of the mortgage lifters. But do what you like and enjoy them. Okay, something that makes working with potting soil like so much easier is I have this large Rubbermaid container. So when I buy a bag of potting soil, I empty part of it into this container, and I just use this clean cup, well, it was clean at one time, as a scoop, and sometimes I might have to add a little bit of water if it's dry in there. But I'll have to say using this makes it so much easier, and then so that you're not doing so much leaning over, I just go ahead and put it on the kitchen counter. Alright, so using the yogurt container, I have put some holes in the bottom. I don't know if you can see that. I used a marker to put the type of tomato plant it is, and then these seeds are pelleted. I don't always have pelleted seeds, but they are pelleted, and I just drop the seed on top after giving the potting soil a little water. So there it is, and I just push it down a little bit, cover it up, and I give it some more water. And then here's a jelly bean tomato. There's the pelleted seed. Push it down and then just cover it up. And then, let's see, this is a 4th of July, and it's not a pelleted seed. See, it's harder to find, but there it is. So I push it down a little bit, and then I'll water these a little more, and then I'm going to put them under the lights just so that they'll be warm. Get them to germinate. It's April 1st. They can probably be planted, I would say, you know, in about 3 weeks, maybe 3 to 4 weeks, somewhere in there. You have to watch the weather. Tomato plants, even though we know that the 32 degrees, that frost is going to kill them, they don't enjoy 40-degree weather. So it's better just to wait until you think that the low temperatures will be 45 and above for the most part. But if they get a cool night and it's less than 45, they're going to live through it. But it's going to make the plant look a little haggard. So do what you want, experiment, and happy gardening. Alright, so I carry the tomato, well, they're going to be tomato plants, but right now they're just basically potting soil that's been dampened, and then I put a seed in, and can't see anything because the seed's under the soil, and hopefully they'll germinate in a couple of days. So they're underneath this light. So what we have here is in our attic is just temperature controlled. We have like this setup with this shelving system that looks like it could go in a restaurant, and stainless steel. And then I've hung lights. There's 3 sets of shop lights, and they're strung up here, and so here the little cups are not touching the lights, but they should be kind of warmed up here. And when they germinate, I can either raise the level of the lights, or I put these pieces of wood here to actually raise the cups. I can just remove those, or when it's warm enough, then I'll take them outside. So like I grew some petunias, and here they are. I'm going to take these downstairs now. So they're just waiting for me. So that's it. That's what you do to grow tomato plants. Alright, it's April 5th, and I've had some 4 days after putting the soil and the seeds in these cups. I have some of my tomato seedlings are starting to germinate. There, see, that one's starting to germinate. It's the 4th of July. Okay, not all of them are germinating, so this one hasn't germinated yet. But what's back here? I can see this one is barely beginning to germinate. I'm not sure you can pick it up on the camera, but I can see a little stem that forms like a little hoop. But we have others that are back here that are germinating. That's a jelly bean tomato plant. And then back here, 4th of July tomato plant. These are germinating, and when they get bigger, up to here, I'll probably take them downstairs, especially if it gets warm outside. Take them down outside and fill with soil so that to take care of that legginess, because the stems get long and it's not leafy enough. When you plant them inside, if you don't have a light, shop lights like that's fine. You don't need shop lights. You can just start your own tomato seeds, do them outside, or do them where it's warm enough, and then move them outside. But don't leave them out overnight if it's really cold. And then I would recommend watering with a mister. This is what I do every day. It keeps the seeds from washing away, and it's great if your kids want to help water, because sometimes kids will just pour a lot of water at one time. Anyway, so happy gardening. Grow some tomatoes this summer.